I'm Faye What, and let's queer up South Florida and Florida. Florida anti-diversity bill could defund pride events and even St. Patrick's Day festivals and parades. Florida lawmakers have passed a sweeping bill that critics warn could jeopardize funding for pride events and even St. Patrick's Day celebrations. The state Senate approved the so-called anti-diversity bill on March 4th in a 25-11 vote. The legislation introduced by Republican Senator Clay Yarborough would prohibit counties from funding or promoting programs tied to diversity, equity, and inclusion. If signed by Governor Ron DeSantis, the measure would take effect in 2027. It would allow fines against local governments that support activities providing preferential treatment or special benefits based on race, gender, ethnicity, sexual orientation, or gender identity. Advocates say the bill could directly affect pride events, civil rights protests, and commemorative observances, such as Black History Month or Trans Awareness Week. According to Equality Florida Senior Political Director Joe Saunders, the bill's language is so broad that it could even affect unrelated celebrations. Saunders said, quote, Senator Yarborough acknowledged that he has no idea how many existing ordinances, policies, and programs would be repealed by this legislation. He also made clear that while engineered carved-outs exist for some communities, he could identify no basis for broadly protecting the LGBTQ plus community, end quote. Advocacy group GLAAD criticized the proposal, saying Floridians deserve leaders focused on economic issues rather than relentless targeting of marginalized people. Oh my God, isn't it time to DeSantis for him to leave already? My Lord, Florida lawmakers are now so allergic to diversity that they might accidentally cancel St. Patrick's Day too. I mean, really? A bill that's so broad it could defund pride, civil rights events, and cultural celebrations. That's not governing. That's culture war. I mean, and when politicians can't even explain what their own bill will eliminate, maybe the problem isn't diversity. Maybe it's the damn bill.
Well, but that's been the trend, though, for all these years in Florida in the DeSantis regime, is to make it overly broad. The drag ban, don't say gay. Jinx, I owe you a Coke.
You got to stop doing that with me, John.
but that's what they do. They write it overly broad.
It's the Republican way.
Well, yeah, but DeSantis has pioneered.
Yeah, and he's
had pushed in Florida.
A way shower for the other.
He has made Florida Stephen Miller's wet dream.
Pretty much.
The scary part is things start out in Florida and then that just domino effects into other states.
Yeah, but here in Texas, and then other people feel emboldened to enact these same horrible bills.
But this is scary. Listen, I saw Chris Caputo, our commissioner here, and our vice mayor here in Wilton Manors, screaming and yelling on his social media because there's fear out there. There is vast fear. Our prides and our festivals are so supported by our Wilton Manors Commission, et cetera. To have them be put in a predicament where they can't no longer help. And support is scary.
Yeah, because the state laws trump, sorry to use the word, but they trump local laws. And so that's a huge issue because, in Miami Beach, there's a very extensive human rights ordinance. And there are many things that the city of Miami Beach wants to do that they cannot do because they're overridden by the state laws and even by the county laws. Yep. So it's really a problem. It's really a major problem.
Well, and you mentioned Chris Caputo has been shouting from the hilltops that this is coming. I've been, of course, as you know, I attend Wilton Manor City Commission meetings, and City Attorney Kerry Israel has been following this very closely. He updates every couple of weeks about where certain vile legislation or legislation affecting cities are. And the fact is, he doesn't really know. Wow. What's going to happen? What the extent? We all know this will get passed inside. We know that, but he can't even really reliably interpret what this could follow. And it's one of the reasons that I don't post about this as relentlessly on my site is because it changes from day to day. You know, you say, oh, X bill is dead, but then another bill got gutted and they put the language back in. You know what I mean? So this is happening in real time. So please follow the Associated Press in Florida. They are doing a fantastic job of giving you the game day play-by-play of what's happening on this and other legislation. So they are a reliable source. Please follow Associated Press and then follow Greater Wilton Banners, because I will have final results, analysis, and what people are thinking about the legislation afterwards.
And that's so important. And you can follow Faye What, because then I'll be screaming my head off
right there
if Pride is not supported or other events that are so important and dear to our community. I can't even fathom. All right. But we will bring you more on this as it comes out. And there is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by sharing them and subscribing to Queer News Tonight.